Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to show you how to model a garage floor. And as you know, garage floors, they have a lot of times they have two different levels, I guess you would say. Although it's poured mostly, if you're doing this on a concrete slab, it's mostly poured in one pour. So what we do first is we basically have to create two floors inside of here. So I go to the floor tool, and of course we want to use the appropriate concrete, and we're just going to choose this generic 12, and we're going to edit that. So we'll duplicate it, and let's make an 8-inch slab for that. Okay, we'll go into edit the category, change that to concrete, cast in place. And we'll change its thickness to 8 inches. Alright, so what we'll do first is we will sort of run a border around the garage with this 8-inch slab. And I'm just going to sketch the boundary just by hand, just using the sketch tool. And I want to start on the outside. I'm going to go to the outside face, or the exterior face of my wall. Then I'm going to I want to find the middle of this wall, if I can get it to snap to such. Okay, it did not, but that's okay. I didn't get it quite in the center. But just to try to alleviate any overlapping with the interior walls, because the interior walls are going to come kind of into that area as well. And so I'm just going around the outside. Okay, now I'm going to circle around and trace the inside. Now wherever you want your entry door, whether it's back here or over here on this side, you'll want to put that raised portion, that's about an inch or two higher than the rest of the garage floor. So I'm going to bring it approximately about 3 feet from the end, circle back around. Now I'm going to trace the inside over here on this side. Okay, now I'm going to go and measure this by clicking on it to get a temporary measurement. You can make it whatever size you want. I'm just going to make mine 3 feet. Okay, so that's the first part of the garage. That's the part that goes under the walls, provides this little walkway back here, and then goes under this wall and then out to the front. Okay, you'll also want to put one right there in the middle of the garage. Because it will not allow you to make two profiles in one when you're doing floors. So I'll have to create floor again and just kind of come in here and I'll draw our boundaries like so. And of course you may not have that if you have one single door. And not two separate doors. Okay, so that's good. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to trace around the inside, but we're going to use a thinner concrete layer. So we're going to go to Edit Type with that same floor that is still selected. Make sure none of them are selected out here, because if you have one of these selected and then you change it over here, you're going to be changing this one. So make sure you're completely out of that. So again, click on the floor tool, Edit Type, duplicate, and we'll call this one 6-inch. Oops, I meant to call it 6-inch slab. And it's very important to put your measurements on any of these materials that you create so that you know that they are different measurements. That just helps you when it comes to selecting them from over here in your type selector. So we'll go in to our structure and change that to 6 inches. And again, we're going to trace, but we're going to trace to only the inside. Okay, basically tracing around the inside of where we had placed that previous layer or that previous level of concrete. So that's pretty much it as far as creating the concrete. Now, highlighting floors overlap, don't worry about that. Just skip over it. Now you want to draw a section right through the middle of your garage because you got to set some levels. Oh yeah, and I forgot one other thing too, and we'll go ahead and do that while I'm in this. Double click back on your garage floor, and I should have done this before I completed it, but I want to go get a slope arrow and draw the slope arrow from back to front. Height offset is going to be now it needs to be at least, I think it is 1/8, yeah, 1/8 of an inch per foot. So I'm going to do about 2 inches, and you just kind of calculate that by measuring the distance from here to here, and then multiplying that distance by the decimal form. I forget what that is. The decimal form of 1/8 of an inch, 1.26 or 0.126 something. I'm probably wrong, but I don't do that in my head so well. But 2 inches will cover it. It comes out to about 2 inches. So now I'm going to click the green check mark. I already drew my section through, and I'm going to double click on that section. I'm going to go look at my garage floor. You can see that it does have that slope to it, which is great. And but however, you see that it's above the other, right here it's above the previous level of concrete. So I'm going to bump that down to get me a small lip right over here. Okay, and that's how you do that. Now of course, once it comes to making your driveway and all that kind of stuff, that will need to be at the same level as this is right here, coming all the way out and going to your driveway. So again, that allows the any kind of water, grease, oils, things like that to flow out of the garage instead of flowing into the house. And that's how you do a garage floor. Now, just to point out, they typically do this all in one pour, not in 2 separate pieces, which is what you just did. But you would annotate that, all of that, on your detail when you get ready to do that. So that's it.